Hello everybody, Math 6, Quarter 1, Week 9 lesson plans here. And we go right in here to our Math 6, Quarter 1 title page here. Students, your name and date here. We have PowerPoint edition and or your video edition here for Week 9 lesson plans, Math 6, Quarter 1. Let's go right into our lesson plan. And then going in here to Week 9, Math 6, Quarter 1, Week 9. This is your lesson plans here for Week 9. And we start out here at 4.7 Scientific Notation, Classwork Homework Part 1. 4.7 Scientific Notation, Classwork Homework Part 2. And then Unit 2 Study Guide, Part 1 Classwork Homework. And then Unit 2 Study Guide, Part 2 Classwork Homework. And then our final test here is the Unit 2 test, Part 1. And then the standards for Week 9 is, here is a structured and engaging learning plan for 6.EE1, which focuses on writing and evaluating numerical expressions involving whole number exponents. And then we go to 6.NS.2, which is fluently divide multi-digit numbers using the standard algorithm. And then 6.NS.3, fluently add, subtract, and multiply. And then our intro to this, students will understand and apply whole number exponents to write and evaluate numerical expressions. And then our learning targets will be define and identify base and exponent, write expressions using exponential notation, and evaluate expressions with whole number exponents. Resources, materials, animated PowerPoints, and MP4 versions of lessons, classwork, homework, quiz, tests, worksheets. Everything is on animated PowerPoints and video. And then activities and tasks. All classwork sheets are closed exercise from PowerPoints or MP4s. Homework, quizzes, test assignments available online with corrections provided after submission dates. And then access for all. Available in over 100 languages, available online 24/7, closed caption for hearing impaired, audio for sight impaired, and then your classwork points, 108 classwork points for Week 9, 15 points of note-taking, 217 points of homework for Week 9, quizzes is 0, and your test is 74 points for your final test here for Quarter 1. The total points for Quarter 1, Week 9 is 414 points. Let's go right into our accommodations and modifications. And for Week 9, Math 6, Quarter 1. And these would be available online via Google Classroom interface. That is grades, classwork, homework, quizzes, tests, Zoom, tutoring on request, all through Google Classroom. And then we start off here with Part 1 here, 4.7 classwork, and that is using 8.EE.1, which 8.EE.1, or .3 actually, 8.EE.3, operations with scientific notation, 8.EE.4e exponents, and then the 6.EE 1.1 NS, and this is for factors, fractions, and exponents. Again, it's 81 points. Oh, that's for the homework. For the classwork, it's 28 points of classwork, and then 5 points for note-taking. And then the homework now is 81 points. We got 81 points of homework for the same standards, factors, fractions, and exponents, and that covers scientific notation. And then we go into 4.7 classwork, Part 2, 4.7 classwork part 2, 26 points in classwork, 6 points in note-taking. And then back over here to 4.7 classwork part 2, you got 71 points of homework. 71 points of homework for part 2, 4.7. And then after 4.7, we go into a review here. Unit 2 study guide, mod 4 review. And then the classwork for that is 34 points. And then your notebook is 4 points for Unit 2 classwork, Part 1, operations with decimals. So we start preparing here for your final. And then dividing whole numbers as well. 6.NS.2 is that standard for the review. And then we've got review here, homework, 28 points for the Unit 2 study guide homework. And you got 28 points here for the homework. And then we go into continuing on here for week 9. We go into our part 2 of classwork for our Unit 2 study guide, 20 points for your classwork Unit 2, part 2, and that's classwork. And then for Unit 2 Unit 2 part 2 homework, and we have 37 points on the homework. And then finally we go into our mixed review. And this is for Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Operations with Decimal, Mod 4 and Mod 5. Operations with decimals, test, 74 points for your test. And for Quarter 1, that's your Quarter 1 test here. And these are your standards here that we covered up above. And animated PowerPoint math video at AOL.com for questions or course materials. Thank you very much.